Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Black Family Business Show. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host. My name is Malcolm, and I'm here with you. And this is a special episode. Now, why is this a special episode? This is the 4-year anniversary of my book, Urban Excellence: Unveiling Extraordinary Stories by Everyday People. So this came out January 20th of 2020. And one of the more prouder accomplishments that I have, just to myself, like I was super proud that I even got it done. The book launch itself, the event was amazing. I had so much fun, so much family, friends, supporters who came out to buy the book. And then COVID happened, right? So COVID happened a couple months later. And looking back, I often use that as an excuse to say why I kind of fell off of the marketing and promotion of my own book. Crazy enough, but I wanted to take this time and this opportunity to talk about some of the good things and some of the mistakes that I made in the launching of this book, and leading up and during and after, so you can avoid it as well when you decide to put out your book. 4 years. This is crazy. My son wasn't even born when this came out. My lady, she was actually pregnant at the time. Like nobody knew when we were at the the book launch and the book signing. She was pregnant. Nobody knew. And my dad, he was trying to throw all kind of hints, the entire time. But it's been an amazing ride, and I've learned so much from 2020 to now. It's 2024. So I want to I have some things written down here that I just want to go into that I would do differently for my next book, because I am writing another book, right? And that goes directly into the first thing. So the first thing I would do different is that I would not write the book in secret. So this first book, because this was like my fourth or fifth attempt even trying to write a book, so I was just kind of nervous at talking about it so much and not delivering, not executing on it. But when you are trying to build an audience of people who are craving the thing that you are putting out, it could be a book, product, soap, whatever it is, whatever that may be, you want people to kind of have some anticipation leading up to the thing being written. Again, I mentioned the author Alex Hormozy for $100 Million Leads. That was his second book. And his first book, $100 Million Offers, he talked about, since that first book, when he was writing his second book, he talked about it. He showed the process. He showed cover options that he gave his followers, like which cover should I use, this one or this one. And he got people invested to the point when he said, when this is fine, when it was here, his launch event, it was a virtual event. I attended the virtual event. It was 400,000 people on a Zoom. I didn't even know you could fit that many people on a Zoom. And on YouTube as well. Like, he just sold out immediately because of so much hype and build up to the event. Now, the book is good, so I don't want to discount that and just say it was all hype and just all anticipation. The book was good, so that has something to do with it as well. But I chose to write the book in secret, basically. Like, only a handful of people knew I was writing the book, including my family, and that was it. And then the day I announced it, we had a podcast that day, and I announced it to the world, hey guys, got a new book coming out. And I said, I gave everybody the official launch day, the day when it was coming out and things like that. So I was excited for that, don't get me wrong, and people were happy for me. But I think if I would have, kind of took people on that journey with me, documented the journey, the process a little bit more, I would have had more success in the initial launching of this book. Now, second thing, what I would have done, I would have given myself a longer runway to actually promote the book once I announced it. Now, like I said, I announced it November 8th, let's say, and then to January 20th or the 21st, either one, right? That's only like a month, maybe 2.5 months to really promote. right? And to really promote and get pre-sales and things like that, because the pre-sale period is very important for the launch date so a lot of people can get on those, Amazon bestsellers lists and things like that. I don't feel like I gave myself enough of a runway to, really promote. So that's another thing that I would do. So a longer pre-sale period, because there are big time authors who give themselves probably like 6 months to pre-sale their books. Ryan Holiday right now, he has his third book coming. He has another book coming out. In his he has a new series of 4 books coming out, and this would be book 3, and he hasn't even mentioned it yet. But I saw the listing up on Amazon 2 months ago, and he hasn't said a word about it yet. So he's giving himself a really, really long time to promote and build up the hype for his book. Big time authors do it. People who are traditionally published, they give themselves a really long time to promote. So if you're self-published, why shouldn't you? It shouldn't be any different. So you want to give yourself a really long time to promote, to really get the word out there, to really set in place a plan. I kind of rushed. I kind of said, I want this book out now, and I kind of rushed the whole process. Don't rush it. The difference between like good and excellent is usually a couple more weeks. You know what I'm saying? And that is to just kind of really set some things in motion so you can have a really good plan on marketing and promoting your book. Another thing I would have done, I would have released more video content. Now for this book, what I did was, the origins around this book. So this book is called Urban Xcellence, and this comes from a term that me and my dad came up with when we were describing amazing things people were doing within our community, right? So we saw the term Black excellence, and the way that word was perverted in social media in our society, it only meant rich entertainers, rich rappers, rich actors, rich this, rich that, and there was no space for anybody in the middle or who are on their goal to reaching whatever it is that they deem as success. So we decided to call that Urban Excellence. So what I did was, I always wanted to write a book. This was my third or fourth attempt, maybe fifth attempt on writing a book, and I had nothing that I was really passionate about. But then, I stepped back, and then I just kind of saw it. This is what I'm doing. We're podcasting, and we're highlighting these people, and within our community, these local heroes within our community. I know some amazing people in my circle, people I went to college with, people I worked with, my siblings as well. So what I did was I interviewed them. I recorded the interview, and then I crafted these stories around each interview and around each particular concept, right? So my little brother Elijah, I interviewed him. He's in one of the chapters in this book. He's disabled, right? And his chapter is called Disabled is Abled. And we talked about, his journey on, growing up, being born with cerebral palsy, how he has used that into a superpower when he started his own podcast, his own sports podcast, things like that. One of my good friends, Dorian from college, he was adopted, and then he created he became a teacher. He created these lessons that he can go to schools to speak to these kids about, overcoming their struggles and things like that as well. So I crafted these stories around it, and then I recorded these interviews. Now, what I did was, initially on the lead up, I would, drop a little snippet of each interview, to kind of promote the book, but I should have done way, way, way more of that. I should have done just so much more of that. I should have released every interview in its entirety, but I was so afraid of, if I'm releasing the interview, is that giving too much? Will people still want to buy it? And now just my idea of marketing and my idea of promotion, I would have just released everything. I would have just said, here, take it all, and still have been promoting my book, right? So that was another thing that I wish I would have done. Just more video content, more snippets from the book, passages that really spoke out, something amazing somebody said. If I took a quote from somebody, I could have put that as a post on Instagram, as just, a stagnant post on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. And I think that would have, just kind of enticed more people to kind of want to buy this book. Another thing I would have done advanced copies. Now that goes back to my first point with not writing the book in secret. I would have had advanced copies, given them to influencers, giving them to people who have some follow some decent sized following, so they can read it, so they can kind of see the value in it as well. And then hopefully I could be on their platform. They can interview me. I can have them on my podcast. Something like where we could have been working more with other creators to help promote this book as well. Because one of the things that people don't do, especially us starting out, we didn't do as well. We didn't collaborate with a lot of people. We just kind of kept everything in-house and to ourselves. And while there is strength in that, I don't think when you are trying to promote something, that is the only strategy you should use. You should try to work with as many people as possible. That's either paid promotion, which I talked about before. That's either doing an interview for an interview, the barter system, trying to get on somebody's list, affiliate commissions as well. So I could have probably created an affiliate system where, if this person has a large email list, how many people, based on how many people buy from that person's link, they get a cut, so it's a win-win for every party. So I would have done some more of that. I would have gotten more advanced reviews as well, because it's the way humans are. Like, we're trying to do what everybody else is trying to do. So if people are seeing a lot of positive reviews for this book, and I'm promoting that and I'm posting that, then more people would be enticed to pre-order and then buy. And like I said, the other thing, podcast interviews. I would have tried to go on a lot more shows. I did like 1 or 2 interviews, and funny enough, those interviews did drive sales. So I don't know why I didn't kind of just stick with that. I did some phone interviews, some radio interviews, and they were pretty good. Like, people did go out and buy the book as a result of that. So next time I will be doing a lot more. I'm going to go on a whole entire press run for my next book, or my next books, because I have a few in mind. Okay, so that's that. I would say pre-launch, right? The next thing, and this is like super, super important, not just for a book that you're trying to sell, but anything that you're trying to sell. You have to promote it post-launch. Now, that is something I completely dropped the ball on. And I'll be honest, 4 years ago, I was a different person. Like, I was doing a podcast with my dad once a week. That's before we started going twice a week. So once a week, I was doing a podcast, and I was next to my dad, so I was still uncomfortable filming things by myself, putting out my own content by myself, promoting myself. I was just so uncomfortable with it, to where I don't know if it was a defense mechanism, to where, like, if I don't care about it and nothing happens, and I don't really have too much at stake here. But that was definitely something that hindered me in the past, and I see I definitely see the fault in that type of thing. And so I would have definitely been a lot more shameless in my promotion after the fact, because a lot of times we work on these things and we finally launch it and we just kind of go, all right, that's it. No, that is just the beginning. Like, the first half of the marathon was writing, completing, and publishing this book. The second half of the marathon is actually working the book, actually selling it. So that was something else that I would have done better on, and I'm going to do better on now. So I still have this book out. It's on Amazon. It's on sale on Amazon right now, or anywhere books are sold. So go check it out. And you know what? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do a giveaway. I have one copy. Email me, malcolm@blackfamilybiz.com, if you want this copy. Let me know, and I'll sign it for you. Just tell me your name and I'll sign it for you. So post launch, again, more video content. I would have just kind of repurposed some content, repurposed some stories. I would have highlighted more urban excellence stories around the nation, around the country, and things like that, to promote my book as well. I think that would have been a great strategy. So I don't know why I didn't think of that. I would have done that. More snippets from the book again as well. This time, instead of advanced copy reviews, I would have promoting my Amazon reviews a lot more. I have like 37 5-star reviews on Amazon right now, so could be better, but I would have done way more of that to just kind of drive the traffic to the book. I didn't do enough. I didn't do nearly as enough. Okay. And then here's some other things that I kind of just wrote down that I think would have been cool that I think I will do now on my next go around, right? So I would have created a short podcast series, not an entire podcast, but a short podcast series, right? Make it been 15 to 20 episodes or 10 episodes, as you know, just on the concept of Urban Xcellence, and that could just be me interviewing other people within our community, people whose story didn't make the book, but other people within our local community who was doing amazing things that I could have just, or I could have just took the audio from the interviews I actually did, put that as well. I would have done so much. I'd have done an audio book as well, because a lot of people consume media that way. This is only available as a hard copy and as an ebook. I would have done more, like, just different formats of mediums for people to consume it. I know some big time authors who they have a complete third, 1/3 of their sales is through physical, 1/3 of their sales is through ebook, 1/3 of their sales is through audio. So I didn't take advantage of that enough. And yeah, I think that's it for now. If you have anything else that you would have thought about, if you'd have done if you were in my position, like, hit the comments below and you could tell me, because like I said, I am writing another book and I'm going to be implementing so much of these things. And what I'm going to do this year that I haven't done for a long time, I'm just going to promote the crap out of my own book, because why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, why be ashamed of my own work? And I'm not ashamed. I'm just saying. But thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, it's been 4 years since this book came out, and is again one of the most proudest moments I've ever had in my life. Just knowing that something that came out of my brain that I kind of just helped cultivate, and it became this book, something that people have read and enjoyed. People have hit me about, some friends I went to college with have told me, like, yo, Michael, I really enjoyed your book. I remember picking my dad up one morning, and he got in the car. He had tears in his eyes. I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? And he said, yeah, I just read, the chapter, one of your friends, and I didn't know his story. I didn't know you crafted these stories this way, and it was a great book. So once I got the seal of approval from him, it really, really told me that I had something special here. So next time I write a book, I'm going to put a lot into it, and I'm going to make sure I get a lot out of it as well, as far as marketing and promotion. So take these lessons that I learned from, these past 4 years, apply it to yourself. Whatever creative endeavor that you have, just make sure you are giving yourself a really fair shot in it being successful. Most self-published authors don't sell past 100 books. I'm past that, thankfully, but most people don't sell past 100 books. Most people don't sell past, I think it's 50 books, because they only rely on their friends and family to buy. And then, do they even read it? They just buy it to support it, but do they even read it? So you want something that lasts the test of time, that stands the test of time, and you want something that really creates value in the marketplace and creates value in other people's lives. So you want to promote it that way. If it matters, and it does matter because you took time out to create it, so take as much or even more time out to promote it to the world. Okay, so with that being said, my name is Malcolm. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want a free course on how to write your own book, how to self-publish your own book, the sites I use, the resources that I use, the lessons that I learned, you can go to blackfamilybiz.com/income. That's blackfamilybiz.com/income. You'll get some free trainings and some free courses, one of which is on how to self-publish your own book. So with that being said, peace.